YouTube? It's Raining Card Games, and welcome to the February Q&A video. This video is, as you notice, going up a little bit earlier, but that's just because I will be traveling at the end of this month, so I will not be able to air this on the last day of the month, so you guys are going to get this a little bit early, as well as the next episode in the Raid Raptor saga. That also will be going up just a little bit earlier, just so that I can have you make sure you guys have the content whilst I'm away. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into the Q&A. So, I am traveling right now, and hopefully at where I will be traveling, I will be able to film a new episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Wilderness for you guys. So, by the time I get back from my trip and I'm able to edit the video and everything, I would probably say expect the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Wilderness video mid-March or so, more or less. Hopefully, I don't have any set date yet, but I would assume, let's say mid-March for the next episode. That's a big ask. To top a YCS with 6 Sams, they've only had a regional top recently with Team Bio's build, but to top a YCS with 6 Sams. So actually right now, what the plan is with Sealed Only Samurai, there's the Richmond Regional coming up in end of March. I am getting the deck ready for that, and then if we get our invite at that regionals, then we will obviously move on to the next tournament from there. But if we don't get the invite, that's probably going to be the last episode, interestingly enough. I'm still going to play the deck, and then you'll probably still see some videos every now and then of me playing the deck. Maybe not so much opening sealed product, but I mean the game plan is Richmond Regional, and if I get my invite, then go to the NAWCQ, and if not, it's been a fun series. But yeah, that's the game plan right now for Sealed Only Samurai. So I think at some point I'll move on, but end-wise, Richmond's the end for the series. What is my favorite color? Forest green. I wonder why, right? I don't know. Forest green, I always resonate with the color. Kind of relates to how I am as a person. Okay, disclaimer, there are two, I'm gonna give two. So obviously when I was little and played the deck, it was kind of just whatever packs my parents got me, whatever janky deck I put together, whatever, always like beat sticks, like that's old school schoolyard Yu-Gi-Oh! My first actual deck when I got back into the game, trying to think. I remember I got the Blue Eyes Saga deck, this one, and I built that for fun. It was just like extremely just that with a few other Blue Eyes cards thrown in. It was not at all a competitive Blue Eyes strategy. And another one was the, do I have it up here? Yes. The Felgrand structure deck. So I built like a kind of, I looked at what was in there, and there were Lightsworn cards in there. So I kind of built like a Chaos Lightsworn Dragon deck, which was interesting to say the least. I had fun with that deck. I tore it apart much later on just for different pieces here and there, but that was fun. It was interesting. In terms of what I do for a living and what I study, this has been kind of the game plan since I was little. Like I remember when I was tiny, just going out, running around, just like, or when my brother would take me home from school, he'd pick me up and we'd walk by the lake near our house, and I'd run around and saying like "Sapu, Sapu," like frog. It's like running around. It's like I had that natural inclination towards focus. There we go. I had that natural inclination towards wildlife and everything from a very young age, watching stuff like Jeff Corwin, Steve Irwin, Zabumafu, all these like shows when I was little growing up had a huge impact on me. And then like going in high school, I already knew like I was setting myself up class-wise, volunteering wise. And then college is just like, once I got to college, like I already know what I'm doing. Undergrad, did my undergraduate research with a reptile amphibian conservation lab, and then with my graduate degree, my master's thesis on wetland conservation and wetland health at one of the parks I actually work at now. So really, and then what I do occupational wise, just in not only studying and knowing what's around me, what's in the outside world, so that I have a strong foundational knowledge, but also sharing that with the public. Informing people why this is important and how it's important and how it affects our lives, how it affects the area around us. So that's one of the other things. So not also making sure people don't harm that ways in various ways through enforcement, education, and yeah, stuff like that. If I could be a 6 samurai card, which one would I be? There are a lot of them. They're the original 6, there's the newer 6, and then there's the recent 6, and there's all the other... Tough one. That's kind of tough. I do like Kizaru. I really like his artwork, and he's got both monkeys with him. So Kizaru is pretty cool. Yeah, let's say that. I'll be Kizaru. If I could be a 6 Sam monster, I'd be Kizaru. Fitting, related to the last question. Who is my favorite of the 6 samurai? And this is more lore-wise. By far, Kagemusha. So obviously he was in LOB, Kagemusha of the Blue Flame. And, you know, if you haven't followed up on 6 Samurai lore, he's actually the body double of Shien. And then he becomes a shadow of the 6 Samurai Shien. And that's like, you know, he fights the original Shien, and that's like the picture where you see an evenly matched, like they're both fighting each other. So I think lore-wise, I really enjoy the story of Kagemusha and his journey from, you know, the very beginnings until what he becomes at the end. So I think that's pretty cool. Last one. Oof, if I wanted to do a sealed only series, regardless of meta, that's an interesting question. If I could just do a series completely not worrying about the meta game or anything, just building a deck. Wow, that's tricky because, like, I don't know, currently I think the more I've played you, since I've been getting back into you, I've had a more competitive mindset. Not like super competitive, obviously. I'm not topping YCS's right and left or everything, but I'm saying just like the way I build decks and everything. But if I could build do a sealed only series that's just with whatever strategy I wanted. You know, one thing that would be kind of cool would be like a Stardust. I've always, like, you know, like Stardust Dragon and its line of monsters. That would always be pretty cool. I've always, like, in theory, liked the idea of how, like, you know, you have this assault mode, shooting, rising, quasar, like all these different synchro variants. Just building a series like that, because I also really like opening old product too. And I think that would be pretty cool, opening these older sets, building a deck revolving around Stardust Dragon. I think that would be pretty cool. So, yeah. And that's all the questions that I have for this week. Thank you guys for those of you who've left comments either in the last Q&A video or in any of the recent posts that I put on my community tab. I really do appreciate you guys sharing interest in interacting with me in this kind of content.